Hello, everybody. Good evening, and welcome back to the Dugout Football Channel. And welcome to match day number 2 preview and predictions of the UEFA Champions League. Yes, match day 1 took you by surprise. Let's just say that match day 2 will be probably again surprising. I've got a fabulous panel this evening. As you can see, we are joined by Mr. Connor Niblett from the Cup Council. How are you, Connor?
I'm doing very well, thank you, mate. Thank you for inviting us on. And I want to forget about last week's Champions League results already and move on to Ajax. But apart from that, I'm doing absolutely brilliantly. Thank you, mate.
No problem. And I've also been joined by someone who works in the same building, but obviously due to travel arrangements tomorrow, we will not be seeing each other. But it's fantastic to get him on, and it'll be good to get his thoughts on Leipzig, AC Milan, Rangers, and much more. It is Mr. Reece Russell. How are you, Reece?
I'm very well, thanks. A pleasure to be back on. Just done a couple of... And I will not be letting you forgetting that one, mate. I will not be allowing you at all. But all in all, it's good to see you. Good company. And chatting the Champions League. What could possibly go wrong?
I know. And she was on with me last week, and what I will say is she doesn't back her teams very much. It is the lovely Maisy Hall from Devils United. How are you, Maisy?
I'm well, thank you, Doug. How are you? Thanks for having me on. I do back my teams. I just use my mind. I don't use my heart or my gut. That's just the difference. Because then you don't feel disappointed as much when you lose.
That is very, very true. But no, I'm doing very, very well as well. As you can see, me and Maisy are wearing our new third shirts. I've obviously gone for Liverpool. I've got Diogo Jota on the back, if anyone hasn't seen my unboxing. And by the way, unboxings seem to do very, very well, I've noticed as well, which is mental. Absolutely mental. But anyway,
and then I've gone retro.
Chat. Oh, you have gone retro. Hello to the lovely Hella. Hope you are well. Here we go, Douglas, and everybody will start soon. Ella, if you need to win against that, yeah, we certainly do. Arpon, good evening. Hope you're well. Yeah, big game for Barcelona, for sure. Good evening, Daddy Cole 52. Nice to see you in the chat. Good evening to John as well. Big everyone. Hope you're well. Good evening to Gary Richards. Hi, all watching NFL, but we'll keep you on in the background. Thank you, Andrew. Reece is on the strawberry milkshake. He certainly, he certainly is. He
Two
certainly
bottles.
is. 2 bottles. There we go. And also we have Mr. Brian Morrissey. Hello, Brian. Hope you are well as well. Obviously, we will obviously start with obviously remembering that obviously today is obviously the 11th of September, and obviously it is 21 years ago today that the 9/11 attacks. I actually remember being in school for that. I actually remember watching it. We were actually asked to go to an assembly. And just to basically watch what was happening on the TV, and the scenes were absolutely awful. And then, obviously, everyone has been living under a rock. Her Majesty the Queen passed away on Thursday, so all the Premier League games were postponed. All the Championship, all the SPFL were all postponed as well. So a lot of things have happened. But as you can see across the bottom of your screen, there are the match day 1 results going across the bottom of your screen. I'll start with Maisy. Is there any results there that really surprised you?
One there, I'm gonna go with the Chelsea result. I think I predicted a draw, Doug. I can't remember, but Chelsea was shocking. I watched the game and I seen the goal go in. It was an absolute poor game. Chelsea fans say, we want Mendy to be dropped. He's not good enough anymore. Just for Kepa to come in, and he's conceding an extremely poor goal. I think, in my opinion, I don't want to offend the Chelsea fans, but I think Koulibaly is very overrated. He leaves so much space. He goes far too up. I know he's got pace, but he isn't quick enough compared to the strikers and the wingers what are coming against him, and he's leaving massive gaps. So it was a good result there for Dinamo. Another one, what was a shock one, I'd probably have to go with the Leipzig one. Sorry, Reece, but I wasn't expecting Leipzig to get spanked.
Yeah.
I did say I thought they'd get beat, to be fair. Like, I didn't think they'd do enough.
No, they didn't do enough. But I know they've got to change a manager anyway from what I've heard. But another one, what I will probably say is another shock one in particular too, would probably be the Sporting game, just because I wasn't expecting a win, a comfortable win on top of that. And it was a great second half performance, what put them 3 goals up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did predict Sporting to win. I'll remember that one anyway. Reece, bad night for your teams. Has to be said.
Let's just forget my teams exist. Let's just forget my teams exist, alright?
Basically, the 2 games that we're obviously going to talk about first is obviously Dinamo Zagreb 1, Chelsea 0, and obviously Leipzig 1, Shakhtar 4, because both of them sacked their manager the next day. Did you expect Domenico Tedesco to be sacked?
I mean, the results were fairly poor, but I was expecting him to get a little bit more time, because obviously he won the DFB Pokal literally 3 months ago. I mean, I thought it was quite poor, really, that he had that sort of result. It was a very poor decision by the Leipzig board. Am I surprised that they've done it so quickly? Yes. Is it the right decision in the long haul? Probably will be. Is Marco Rose the right manager? No. Yes, they absolutely spanked Dortmund 3-0, but I could spank Dortmund 3-0 in my sleep. But it's not the right decision for me. They should have went for Thomas Tuchel, in my opinion. They should have got a more experienced manager, and Marco Rose, he does have some good football to him, but I've said it to you privately, mate. Like, in terms of Marco Rose, I did watch him at Salzburg. I watched the Mönchengladbach and the Dortmund games. It ended badly at Mönchengladbach. He got it horribly wrong at Dortmund, and he is a Leipzig boy. He is going to get sacked from his own club. He's going to get sacked within 18 months, and it's going to be hilarious when he does, because he's just going to fuck off, because he will not keep his team playing consistently good football. I think they missed a trick. I would have got all the budget, and I would have got Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah. Well, someone who knows his European football and is obviously going to be travelling to Rome to see the special one this coming Thursday. It is Michael from Michael Talks Football. Good evening. How are you?
Doing well. Sorry I'm late. My family called me to talk about the NFL because our team is absolutely abysmal. So that's why I was a little bit late. Sorry about that, Doug. Yeah, look, I'm doing well. It's Sunday, and in a couple days, going to Rome to watch my team get spanked probably 5-0 in Rome, or we could do a one against the special one. Let's see. But thanks for having me on, Doug.
It's a pleasure. It's absolute pleasure.
HJK, where Alfredo Morelos came from.
Oh, Helsinki. I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think he's going to do that bad. I mean, Udinese spanked them 4-0 last week. So
I'll save my judgment till tomorrow, because Rome are playing tomorrow. If we get a result in Rome, I might go crazy. I might party all night in Rome. That's what's gonna happen.
I don't think he's gonna get battered. If he's getting beat, it'll be by 1 goal. I don't think he's gonna get ripped apart. They've not been playing great football lately.
No, they haven't.
Yeah. Connor, is there any results there that shocked you?
I think they've already been mentioned. I think obviously Sporting beating Frankfurt is a big one. I think also, I'm just taking a quick look at the results. Again, Chelsea was poor. Milan against Salzburg. I know Salzburg are well known in the Champions League, but Milan dropping points against Salzburg where they should be beating them.
Yep.
As well, and I wouldn't say it's more shocking, but I think looking at our group, looking on the other side, Ajax thrashing Rangers 4-0. We all know that Rangers do very well in Europe, obviously, especially last season. But just watching the Liverpool game and just hearing Ajax have scored and they've scored again, and it was a bit shocking when I looked at it and looked at the highlights, and it was like Rangers just looked terrible against Ajax. And to be fair, Ajax looked amazing. But
Yeah.
again, I wouldn't say there was many shocks, but there was that odd one or two. I would say anyway.
Yeah,
was
I
a
mean,
flat
Mike,
performance, man.
Mike, you did a watch along to Ajax Rangers. I mean, you would have been impressed with Ajax, and one player in particular that really needs to be talked about is Mohamed Kudus, who looks absolutely electric.
I mean, I've been speaking about this guy for a year now. I remember watching him in Denmark in Nordsjælland, and I was like, this guy is an absolute baller. He's had a couple of injuries at Ajax. I think he hasn't had a fair opportunity. Now he's playing at the false nine role, and he is killing it. Absolutely killing it.
Yeah.
To the point where now Brian Brobbey's on the bench. But I have to say, Rangers were abysmal. Absolutely abysmal. It was a carbon copy of the old firm derby. I'll say it again. No desire, no passion, and no... James Tavernier, who's a fantastic right back, got absolutely schooled. He showed no intent to lead Rangers out on that pitch in Amsterdam. It was a terrible performance from Rangers. I expect much better at Ibrox on Tuesday, because if they don't, against Kivica Kvaratskhelia, against James Tavernier, oh boy. But I expect a better performance. Ibrox is going to be rocking, and we know that for sure.
They're still going to get beat off Napoli. Definitely. I'm already calling it now. I'll be watching the game. It'll finish 3-1 Napoli. Telling you now.
Yeah. Good evening, Chris. Ferrari F1 strategic plans for this season have been revealed. Plan A, Plan B, Plan C, Plan Y, C, A. That's fabulous. Chelsea were abysmal. Napoli were good as expected. Liverpool not so much. Yeah, I know, Hella, you would be enjoying that result, no doubt. Bayer Leverkusen losing was bad. Oh, by the way, did you see Hradeski's mistake? He literally got the ball and pammed it into his own net. Shocking.
Oh, for Club Brugge game, yeah, he's had abysmal season.
I'm supposed to believe he's a good goalkeeper in the Bundesliga. No, he's not.
Yeah,
he's absolute.
You could say that. Yeah, actually top of the Union Berlin are actually top of the Bundesliga right now, which is pretty mental, because Bayern Munich have had 3 straight draws, I think, in the Bundesliga. Hello, Jack. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you're good. Hi, everyone. Hope you've had a great weekend. We'll go through the comments later on in the show as well. Yeah, Ravi, please don't say that. Liverpool 2, Ajax 1, Ajax scoring first. We cannot concede the first goal against Ajax. Let me just say that. Now. But we will get on to how the fixtures have been put, because obviously there has been a change into one of the fixtures this week, and we will get into that very, very shortly as well. But the first games to obviously speak about is obviously the early game between Viktoria Plzen and Inter Milan. I don't know about you, Mike, but I thought 5-1 flattered Barcelona, because I think Plzen had their chances, and every time they looked like they had their chances, they looked like they could potentially go on and grab a couple of goals. So against Inter, they are at home. They've got that hostile crowd in front of them. Do you think they could give problems to Inter?
Not really, to be honest. Although they have a really good goalkeeper in Stanek. He's actually played a couple of times for the Czech national team, and their left winger Mosquera, the Colombian, he's very good. But yeah, I just think that was more Barcelona just not taking them serious, to be honest. I think that's what that's the case when it came to Viktoria Plzen against Inter. I expect a better performance from Inter, but I got to be honest, I've not been impressed by Inter this season. I really haven't. They were fantastic last year, but now I don't know if Inzaghi's not got this squad gelling at the moment. Barella's not playing well. I'm looking at the fullbacks, the 2 fullbacks especially, and of course, Lukaku being injured is a big thing, and I think he's going to be on the bench for this game. He might be back for this matchup, but yeah, look, I expect the Inter to win here. If they don't win this game, yeah, they can kiss goodbye to 1 and 2 position in this group. Kiss it goodbye. They have to win this game.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. I mean, Connor, Inter Milan, Bayern Munich last week. I mean, I know Bayern did obviously win 2-0, but they won pretty comfortably in the end.
Yeah, they did, and it's always weird with Inter in the Champions League, and in Europe itself, they always fail to qualify. I think was it once out of the last 9 years that they've qualified for the knockout stage of the Champions League, which of course isn't good enough realistically. But yeah, against against Bayern, there was no goal threat. I think Barella was rested, or he was on the bench and didn't get used, which for me, I think Barella is by far Inter Milan's best player. But yeah, I absolutely agree. I think if Inter don't get 3 points from this, then obviously first and second is going to be completely gone from underneath them.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other game, I mean, this game is just, I mean, Maisy, we obviously had these two last season. We've got them again, but this time Robert Lewandowski is returning to Munich with Barcelona. I mean, I read something that Barcelona have conceded 17 goals in the last 4 meetings with Bayern Munich.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see past a Bayern win, surely.
You know what? I actually think it's going to be much tighter than what a lot of people are going to be thinking here. Barcelona ain't doing too bad so far. They're strengthened in areas. They've got Jules Koundé now for the centre-back role. They've got Lewandowski anyway. They still kept Frankie de Jong. So they still got a very strong squad, and with that squad I would expect them to qualify into the groups, the knockout stages. Bayern Munich, they've got Mane, who's been playing in that striker role and he's been doing terrifically. From what I've seen though, Bayern's been changing around their wingers quite a bit, and if that's the case, could that be something what Barcelona could potentially exploit? And I think Lewandowski, despite, of course, being an ex-Bayern Munich player, I think he'll want to try and score and try and make some history for Barcelona because they don't have a good record against Bayern. So I think it is going to be an extremely tight one, and I think it's going to be like a narrow goal or two between it.
Yeah. I mean, it is going to be very, very interesting. But Reece, obviously, are Bayern Munich one of your favourites to win the Champions League this season?
I would say they are. I'd say they're my third or fourth. I usually every year I always seem to go Bayern, but this year I think there's 3 teams better than them, and it's already evident. And it's Man City, Real Madrid, and it's PSG. I think they are the 3 best teams position wise to go and win it. Although one of them plays in a league that has got no competition, but still has a manager that seems to be blending out some of their star players. That's been PSG. Real Madrid, defending champions, they've got more European pedigree than any football club in the tournament, so it's inevitable that they are the favourite. And then, Man City right now are just playing totally different football, which is really unpredictable, and you don't know what to expect. I think this year they could potentially go and do it. I don't think they will, but it really does depend on keeping certain players fit. But they are, for me, the 3 favourites. Bayern Munich are always going to be up there because they're a consistent European team. But the one thing there is, like Maisy said, that's spot on is Nagelsmann does it really well, but sometimes he makes a mistake of it, is his rotation. Like in certain games, he has to keep a strong team. He cannot just keep rotating constantly because it will disrupt players' flow. It will disrupt the rhythm of their playing, the playing time. Jamal Musiala should have started against Stuttgart. That's a mistake. He's by far Bayern Munich's best player right now on form. Jamal Musiala, he's an absolute phenomenal player. Thomas Müller, obviously reverting. Obviously, he's a key player, but you don't know how long he's going to last. Mane's been superb, but then again, he hasn't scored lately. I don't know, but I do think Barcelona are going to get something out of this game. I usually go with a Bayern win against Barca. I'm not this time. I actually think Barcelona will win this 2-1, and I think Lewandowski will score both goals.
Ooh, interesting. Well, we will get predictions now for this for these 2 games. Starting with obviously Viktoria Plzen against Inter Milan. I can't see anything other than Inter Milan win, to be honest with you. I'm going to go 2-0 to Inter Milan. Connor?
I'm going to go 3-0 Inter.
Maisy?
3-1 to Inter.
3-1. Mike?
I'll go 2-0 Inter.
2-0 Inter. And Reece?
I don't rate them as a full club, so I'm going 1-1 draw.
Oh, 1-1. Wow, that
I don't think their manager's good. I don't think their manager's good enough, and judging by their style play recently, like Mike was spotting about their wing backs, it doesn't translate to the midfield. And it was not just that, like, people were expecting them to beat AC Milan last week. They played football. Nah, they turned up and got beat. The scoreline says 3-2, but it should have been 4 or 5. They were lucky to even get away with just a 1 goal, like losing it. They were awful. They've only got 3 or 4 like actual good players. I don't rate them as a football club at all. This is not the Inter Milan that I remember from years ago. That it's just not good enough. And Lukaku, well, he's injured, so summed up the fact they brought Sunday back to go on the injuries list, because he's shit.
But this one though, Bayern Munich against Barcelona. I mean, it's obviously the return of Robert Lewandowski. However, I think Sadio Mane is going to have a field day against that Barcelona backline. It is obviously ex-Chelsea backline as well with Marcos Alonso.
Doug, you say that though, but Barca have only conceded 1 goal this season.
Exactly.
No, actually 2. Sorry, 2.
I know, but I just have a feeling. That going to the Allianz, they've not got the best of records there. I've just got a feeling it'll be. I think Barcelona will get a goal, but I'm going to go 3-1 to Bayern Munich. That's what I'm thinking for this one. Connor?
I think it'll be a draw. I've gone 2-2. I think I watched Bayern on the weekend, and Kimmich cost Bayern a win, and he was so lackadaisical, and it happened 3 or 4 times. And if that happens if that happens in the Champions League, then Lewandowski's gonna score continuously. But I do think it will be 2-2 because I think Lewandowski and Mane will probably get both of each other's goals.
Interesting. Maisie?
I've gone for a Bayern win just because of the home crowd of Bayern Munich. I think that's going to be like their 12th man, basically. I've gone for a 3-2 for Bayern Munich.
3-2. Mike?
I just can't wait for this game. I'm not even gonna watch Liverpool, to be honest, because this game will be entertaining and actually give me some joy, unlike Liverpool at the moment. You know what? I think this is going to be high scoring. I feel like Lewandowski's going to score 2 goals. I feel like Mane's going to get a couple goals. I'm going 3-3. I think it's going to be a very intense
3-3.
A crazy Champions League.
Wow.
We always have those once a season. I can remember Chelsea, Ajax, where it was 4-4. You get those sort of games. I'm going 3-3. I think it's going to be a very entertaining matchup. And Lewandowski against De Ligt and Lucas Hernandez. All right, let's see how good De Ligt is then.
Yeah. And Reece, you went 2-1 Barca.
Yeah, I think as much as I would normally go Bayern based on head-to-head record and the fact that it's at the Allianz Arena, I just think right now in terms of contrast, Barcelona are in fantastic form. Bayern Munich hit and miss. Kimmich by far, I agree with Connor. That was Kimmich's worst game I've ever seen him play. I'm a massive fan of Kimmich, but that was the worst game. Yeah, I generally don't see anything else except a Barcelona win, to be honest. But then again, though, a high-scoring draw would be nice. It would give Inter Milan fans hope. But then again, that depends on other games. So yeah, I'm going Barcelona 2-1.
Yeah, we'll get into your comments now. We haven't forgotten you, chat. Don't worry. Nicola's going for 3-1 Inter against Viktoria Plzen. Elevator Escalator fans going for Bayern 5, Barcelona 1. I don't think it's going to be 5-1, but you never know in the Champions League. Shane's going 3-1 to Inter as well. Shane is also going 2-2 between Bayern and Barcelona. Question for the Liverpool panel: does Liverpool make out the group? Yes.
In what position? That's an interesting one.
It'll be second.
I think it'll be second, yeah. I think
Napoli winning your group
as well. Please knock out Barcelona for the memes. Inter love Serie A more than European competitions. Yes, they do. You could say the same for all Italian teams. Inter been really poor recently, has fatigue set in. A couple of clubs have struggled recently start the season. Yeah, that's very true. Reece, how good is the AC Milan midfield? Ask Ravi.
It's consistent. That's the most important thing. Obviously, Franck Kessie is a loss, but Benacer and Tonali have stepped up. And Charles de Ketelaars came in normally as a striker from Bruges, but he's been playing as a number 10 behind Giroud. It's been brilliant. You've got Pobega in there in reserve. Adley didn't get much game time because de Ketelaar ahead of him. It's a midfield that will keep them going, and it's why I think Milan will retain the league, because it's a very strong orchestrated team.
Yeah, I think Barcelona will win this, sadly, says Hella. 3-2 Barca, I'm calling it, says Nadir. Inter will do well. Looks like a 4-3 to me, says Brian. Good luck against Bayern, says Eleven fan. Barca, one of my underdogs this season. I feel having Levan will be massive. Excuse me. Let's see. Barca 3, Bayern 2. Go on, Reece, say Liverpool.
Not a chance. I will
There's
never
not just
put them in
history
my favourites list.
There's not just history between Barca and Bayern. When Bayern always battered Barca, Barca beat Bayern 3-0 and my goal, Leo Messi sat Boateng on the floor. What an amazing goal that
Can I just quickly
was.
reply to that? Can I just quickly reply to that comment for 1 second? Just remember your goal also got pumped 4-0 and 3-0 by Bayern when they won the treble.
That's true. That is very true.
Just wanna make
Plzen
that.
0 and Milan 3 and Bayern Munich 3, Barcelona 1. This World Cup is going to have a massive impact on PSG. I agree. I'm more of an Inter fan. Musiala is a baller. I don't see Bayern winning the Champions League with Lewandowski. Without Lewandowski, I'm even questioning whether they will win their league. I think, but I think it will be close this time. Bayern should win the Bundesliga as well. How much of the PSG team is going World Cup? Yeah, loads. Absolutely loads. Barca have a better team, says Ravi. Interesting. Messi will be back early from the World Cup. That's all I'm saying. Wow. Yeah, I know, Chris. I've seen your predictions. Inter 3-0, says Jack. Reece, watch your mouth.
No.
That front three is already a bit touchy there. Let's see how it plays when Mbappe knocks Brazil out in the semis. I think Dortmund, despite losing by 13 points, should have won the Bundesliga 2019-20, but they lost some stupid points. Lol, Inter and okay, not levels. 2-1 Plzen, says Hella. Wow. Douglas is wearing Liverpool's best kit under Nike. I wouldn't say it's the best because I still think the Ecru one from last season was still the best away top for obvious reasons. Kundi was registered, wasn't he? Yes, he was for the Champions League. Mane's going to run wild like Maisy in this game. Desmond, 3-1 Barcelona without Lewa. 3-2 Bayern. Bayern's goal song is amazing. Yeah, is it no the it's no Carmen, is it? No, not Carmen. No, the Can, isn't it? It's the Can. Our Liverpool kit's this season. Home kit is about as plain as vanilla ice cream. No judgment on that. Away kit is like the wallpaper I see at my work at BM Bargains. Third kit is lush. Good evening, Rich. Hope you're good. As well. Law, Michael, big up Law. Who wants to watch Stinker Pool? I'm also at Barcelona, but in this group, I'll be supporting Inter in this group. Yeah. You can't have two teams in the same group. Lewandowski hat-trick, the law of the X. Mane hat-trick, Sane brace. The Mane link up in Lewa to score a consolation. Liverpool win the group. What I do when you lose, Ravi, says Rich. Would love some Europe. Jesus Christ, Jack. Jesus Christ. Inter 2-1, Bayern 1-1. Europa League goal in competition win 1 under Klopp. 4-0 Inter. And the green kit is lush. Yes, this is absolutely is. Oh, Jesus Christ. And look who's arrived. I regret rubbing ketchup in my eyes, but that's hindsight. Oh, dear. Well, we did leave Maisy's team last week, but actually, she's getting a chance to speak about her team a little bit early as they play Tottenham in Portugal. How are you feeling about this game? Because you'll know that Tottenham's game with Manchester City was obviously postponed, obviously due to the Queen's passing. But this is one of those games, if you beat Spurs, it kind of almost sets your path into the next round.
Mm-hmm. How I've looked at it with Sporting, if they win all of their home games, all they have to do is win like one away game at least, and then they're basically qualified. That's how I look at it. And especially with how Sporting is at home with their home crowd, I wouldn't put it past them to lose many games, to be honest. But Tottenham, they've got a great side. They have strengthened a lot. Richarlison made his debut in the Champions League. He scored a brace. Well done, Richarlison. I'm not going to give you a clap on the back for it because I don't like you. In terms of Sporting, there is parts where they can get exploited in terms of the midfield. I love Morita, but I just think he doesn't suit the Sporting side just because he's a bit too creative to play as a number 8. But Pedro Gonçalves has played well in the number 8 role so far. There has been some returns. Paulinho is back into the side. If he's going to start, I don't know. Marcus Edwards got his player of the match, which is fantastic. I think it could be all to grabs, to be honest. Either team can win, but I have predicted a draw into this game just because of the way Spurs are at the moment. They are on a quite good run. Sporting at the they've been a bit of a hit and miss. They have dropped points so far where they shouldn't have really dropped points in the league. They did have a comfortable win against Frankfurt in the second half, but I don't think you can leave it to the second half when it comes to Tottenham Hotspur. You need to get the game a lot more quicker this time round, and if they do play the ball quite slow, I think Tottenham's going to take advantage of that.
Yeah, very, very interesting. I mean, I know that someone is a big fan of your manager, Mike Ruben Amorim. He seems to be doing a very, very good job at Sporting.
Well, I tweeted out that Chelsea should have got him. They should have hired him. Not the Potter ball. They should have got Ruben Amorim. There's a reason why Sporting paid 15 million for his release clause from Brugge. You know what he did? 2 years later, he finally won the league for Sporting. He's gotten players like Balinha, Matheus Nunes, and all of these ballers from Sporting and sold them for ridiculous money to help out with Sporting, who have a lot of debt apparently nowadays. And now they got Ugarte in the midfield, they got Morita, Marcus Edwards was a good signing, also Trincao, even though I don't think Trincao is that great of a player, but he fits well to what Ruben Amorim wants to do. And hey, he's got Sebastian Coates playing well. You remember him? God, never remind me of that guy ever again. Although when he scored the bicycle kick goal against QPR, that was nice. So I think actually, with the crowd at home, and obviously Maisy makes a good point, Sporting were really good at home last year. Remember when they destroyed Dortmund at home? Obviously, they only lost to Ajax home and away, which obviously Ajax were fantastic last year. So I think Sporting can get something out of this game. I haven't been impressed by Tottenham whatsoever this season. They just kind of steadily done the results and done decent performances, but they haven't been anything impressive. So Sporting, they defend well on the counterattack with Pedro Gonçalves, Marcus Edwards, and Trincao. They could get something in this game. I've been impressed by Sporting, although they've been hit and miss so far. But that's because they've had a lot of changes in the midfield, especially.
Yeah, I mean, this other game, Connor, Eintracht Frankfurt were very disappointed last week against Sporting. I have to say, I was expecting a lot more from the Europa League champions, but funnily enough, their actual first game in the Champions League since 1959, when they actually lost 7-3 to Real Madrid in the old European Cup final. So there was a bit of rustiness there, but 3-0 at home, disappointing.
Yeah, it was. Well, it was a little bit better than the last time in the Champions League, but I think, look, they have had, of course, they've sold a couple of key players, haven't they, throughout the summer? And I think as well, Sporting already, as as the other guys have mentioned, the fact that Sporting, they looked very, very good last week as well. But you look at it, Marseille. Marseille did quite well to do quite damage limitations last week against Spurs, being 10 men down as well. But again, I just think that this, obviously, Frankfurt will need a response to this as well, because for me, I thought that they would finish second in the group. I think when we did predictions for it. But I don't know. I just think that these two teams, watching both of them, of course, on one day, they both look very, very poor. And I think, look, it's going to be very minimal in this game. Whether or not it'll be 1-1 or a 1-0 somewhere, I think that's going to happen. But again, looking at, and depending, of course, on the other game as well, it could be a battle for Europa League spot between these two.
It could well be. I mean, Reece, I am looking at Marseille's squad, and it's almost like an ex-Premier League squad. Alexis Sanchez, Dimitri Payet, Nuno Tavares, Cengiz Under, Eric Bailly, Chancellor Mbemba, Matteo Guendouzi, Jordan Veretout. It's like an
Where did Veretout play? Was he at Aston Villa?
Aston Villa.
Yeah. Okay.
Sead Kolasinac as well.
Oh Christ, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's just humour with the Marseille squad. It's just humour, but King is Unreal actually. Forgot.
Yeah.
Mind you, he sucks. I'm looking at this and I agree. I think this will be the two that'll be fighting for third, but I think just based on quality in the squad, a bit more. I think Marseille, you probably tip to win this one. I don't think either are particularly good enough. Either or. But the European experience of Sanchez might actually pick Marseille. Frankfurt, they're not in the best as well, losing 1-0 to Wolfsburg. Marseille beating Lille 2-1, big result.
Yeah.
So, all in all, I don't know, it really will depend on the night. But I think if you really want to tip your hat on it, you go the only French team that's ever won the European Cup. That's probably your wisest option. So yeah, I'd probably tip. I'm tipping Scumsy to win it. I'm tipping Scumsy to win this game. That's personal hatred from 93.
I know why you don't like.
Doug, can I speak on this game?
Pain is a virtue.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, Marseille, I would say to win this one.
Okay, there we go. This game, if I was a YouTuber and I was doing vlogs, this would be the game I would go to. This crowd is going to be absolutely insane, and we know what Marseille, but this is going to be their first Champions League game in I think 8 years, because they were in the same group with Man City 2 seasons ago, but because of COVID, there was no crowd. I mean, that atmosphere, oh my god. I can only imagine what it's going to be like at the Stade Velodrome. It's going to be insane. And hey, Alexis Sanchez has been a great signing so far, so I wouldn't underestimate this Marseille side. I think I predicted them to finish second. They have a really good manager in Igor Tudor, who came from Verona and did really well. They're playing a very intense style of football, so I feel like with the way Oliver Glasner has this Frankfurt side playing, it's not going to be pretty for them. They got to be prepared because it's going to be a very hostile environment.
It certainly will be. So we'll obviously predict these two games. Sporting Tottenham. Well, people said that you don't back your team, Maisy, but it is in Portugal. I'm going 2-1 Sporting. I think Sporting are going to win this. I'm going to go 2-1 Sporting. Connor?
I'm going to go 2-1 Spurs.
Maisy?
I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
2-2. Mike?
I'm going 1-1. Let's see how Spurs do with more of the possession.
Exactly. And Reece?
Disrupt the status quo or go with a home win? I'll go 0-0 draw.
0-0. Wow. This other one, I can't see past Marseille, to be honest. I'm going to go 2-0 Marseille. I think it'll be a comfortable win for Marseille. Connor?
1-0 Marseille.
Maisie?
2-0 to Marseille. Payet to score.
Payet to score. There we go. Mike?
3-1 Marseille. 2 goals by Alexis Sanchez, 1 by Nuno Tavares, because he's been an absolute goal-scoring machine so far this season. Nuno Tavares.
Nuno Tavares, and I know that Reece said Marseille to win as well. Oh, crikey. Chris, what'd you get if you put a duck in a cement mixer, quacks in the pavement?
Yeah, I'm going for a mad one.
Yeah, a lot of you are speaking. Matata United, thank you for tuning in. Hope you are good.
I'm actually going for a mad score. I'm actually going 4 Marseille.
Oh, wow. Shane's gone 2-1 Tottenham. Spurs are really bad to watch, says Brian. Yeah, them and Chelsea. They're not the best to watch, let's be honest. But Liverpool are not too clever either. Sporting 2, Tottenham 5, says Elevator Esclavan. Richarlison hat-trick, Son and Kane to score Goncalves brace. I will have whatever you are smoking because Tottenham ain't scoring 5 in Portugal. Maybe this is the beer I'm talking. This is the beer you're talking about. An alcoholic drink made from yeast fermented malt flavor. Oh, Jesus Christ. Marseille 2, Frankfurt 1. Frankfurt were poor in the second half. Sporting 1, Tottenham 2. Marseille 1, Frankfurt 1, says Chris. Lisbon 2, Spurs 0. Spurs are Spurs. Marseille 1, Frankfurt 1. Marseille 2, Frankfurt 1. Sporting will be 2-0 up at halftime, and Spurs will be Spursy second half and score 5. Sorry, Maisie. Wow. Hell has gone 1-1. Juventus have only scored one open play goal in Serie A this season. Wow.
Allegri ball. You gotta love Allegri ball, don't you?
Allegri. Yeah, not the best. Nicola's gone 2-1 Spurs. Sorry, my God, my mouth is not speaking tonight. Daddy Cole 52's gone 1-1. Plzen will win Group C. The Barca. No, they won't. Yeah, I agree with this. Kostic is a big miss for Eintracht Frankfurt. I would agree with that. Absolutely agree with that.
They've had to completely change their formation.
Juventus are finished.
Yeah. Maisy loves Coates. It's her favourite sporting player. She has a poster of him on her wall. Lol.
He's lying. He's lying.
Maisy, does he move better than... Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is that a question? Yes. I've warned you about it, Nunes. You need to change your formation for him. You need to change your formation.
2-1 Marseille, Payet brace. 2-1 Marseille. Juventus Stadium is empty tonight. The Italians... Wow. Is it empty, is it? Daddy Cole 52 is going 1-0 Marseille. Jack's gone 1-1 Spurs Sporting. In his job, my dad's never lost a case. That makes him... Oh dear. What were your predictions? We are just getting onto actually those games because the next games to obviously preview and predict is Group A, but one of these games has changed, and I will explain all in a minute. Liverpool Ajax is obviously on Tuesday, but Rangers against Napoli has been moved to the Wednesday because of obviously, I think, policing fears about it. But so there's going to be no Napoli fans going over to Ibrox. And because of just making it being fair, there are no Rangers fans going over to Naples on the return game, basically. So,
wait, why did they do that?
Bit disappointed.
Why did they do that?
I have no idea. I think it's probably because of the lack of policing to obviously do with Queen Elizabeth. That's my guess anyway.
So is all the policemen in Glasgow going to London? Is that what's going? I'll stop there. I'll stop there.
It looks like it.
Okay.
It looks like it. So there's not going to be any away fans at Ibrox, which is quite interesting. But yeah, obviously Liverpool Ajax. Connor. This is an out-of-form Liverpool coming up against an in-form Ajax. Oh, boy.
Don't know what you're talking about, Doug. Be confident. Kidding. It's horrible, isn't it, at the minute? This Liverpool side at the minute is a bundle of questions. Obviously, we spoke about it, I think, last night on my channel. You know, some players' attitude is completely wrong. At the minute, you know, mostly Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk as well. You know, look, I'll happily praise, you know, players being, you know, like they have been over the last couple of seasons, you know, being the best. But Virgil van Dijk, for me, there's so many questions around him at the minute. Trent Alexander-Arnold as well, obviously. Hopefully, something's happened on the training field where we can, you know, change formation. I think, you know, Klopp spoke about it 2 weeks ago, saying that he'd like to play two in midfield, and you know, but he didn't have the forwards to do it. But now you have the forwards to do it. Of course, Jota back, Darwin's back, so there's plenty of options there.
Yeah.
But of course, Ajax are banging in form at the minute as well. It's going to be a tough game, and I think it is going to be by the odd goal. Hopefully for Liverpool.
Fingers crossed. I mean, Mike, you've obviously, it has to be said, we were obviously on a podcast last night, and it has to be said that none of us are confident going into this game.
I said I'm not watching this game. I'm not. And until these players show some actual desire to play and defend and actually want to play for the badge, okay, then I'll start watching you. Because what I saw on Wednesday in Naples, like, fair play to Napoli, they were brilliant, but I have never seen that bad of a Liverpool performance. And when your players don't give a crap, then I won't give a crap either. That's just simple as. As a football fan, I won't take that. So they better show some desire. And if I see Trent or Milner in that starting 11, What do you want me to do? Bergwijn against Trent. Okay, we're going to be in trouble there. What is Liverpool's frailties in the last couple of seasons? Dealing with the false nine. That's what Kudus is going to bring. And then we have Tadic, who's going to run the show. The only thing I can see is we have Anfield. It's at Anfield. Thank God it's at Anfield, because if this was in Amsterdam, it would have been an automatic L from me. So that's the only hope I have in this game, is that we have to see something different. We seriously do. Klopp has to make some big decisions here. I don't know what midfield he's going to go with. I don't know what defense he's going to go with. And I have no confidence. And Ajax have won every single game this season other than the Dutch Super Cup. They have absolutely blown every team away. They look like they haven't sold anybody. Doesn't matter if they lost Martinez or Anthony and all these guys, Gravenberg. This team is just so good, and this club is just so well run. They know what they're doing. So I don't know. I'm not confident whatsoever. I have to be honest. I really am, Doug. And I don't think any Liverpool fan is. If any Liverpool fan is, okay, fair enough. But maybe that's because it's at Anfield. That's the only reason.
Yeah, we'll go to the other game because Maisy, Napoli, they were fantastic against Liverpool, and they obviously are going to a Rangers side who obviously just lost 4-0. How impressed were you with Zielinski and Anguissa last week in the midfield? Because I thought they two ran the show.
I really do, and I've always said it's whoever's got the better midfield on that day is the team that wins. And you could tell the difference between the Liverpool's midfield and Napoli's midfield. Napoli, they have lost a few players such as Gulabella, but you wouldn't be able to tell they've lost people. They're an absolute brilliant side, and I wouldn't put it past them if they could be a potential dark horse, depending who they get in the round of 16. To be honest, I think they're gonna get into the knockout stages, but Liverpool, I look at it and I think there's a lot of players who are very tired. I think lack of rotation hasn't helped with Klopp over the years, because you consistently using the same team over and over again, and you see that there is players like Milner playing, and I think he should be more used as a substitute. And I know you would maybe think a bit different with me, but I also look in terms of your board and say, why are you not scouting young players? Like, look at Real Madrid, for instance. They have backups for the midfield three for when Casemiro, Kroos and Modric leave. They already have that secured, and that's what every single good side should have. You should have the backups there ready, hungry players there ready, and I just can't see that Liverpool have that. I personally think Harvey Elliott plays better and going a bit more further up as well, but talking, of course, in terms of Napoli, I think they've been absolutely brilliant so far. Rangers, they've been quite disappointing this season. They've had heavy defeats. They've got a great side. They really do, but I just think there's just something there what's really letting down the Rangers side. I can't tell what, but I think Napoli will probably end up winning this game. I think they'll probably end up running Rangers riot, even though it's at the Ibrox, just because I think they're a fantastic side.
Yeah. I mean, Reece, obviously, yourself, being a Rangers supporter, are you worried about Giovanni Van Bronckhorst's position as Rangers manager?
We can't hear you, Reece. I don't know if it's your internet or what. We can't hear you though.
Yeah, something has. Yeah. Oh, 2 minutes. No worries. But we'll obviously go to the first game to predict for Liverpool Ajax. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go for an optimistic 2-1 win. I'm going to go for an optimistic 2-1 win. Hopefully the Anfield crowd can get us to a victory. Connor?
Jesus Christ, I don't want to say what I want to say. I'm going to agree with you. I think 2-1. I think Klopp would have absolutely he has to change something. I think if it is 4-2-3-1, though, I do think Liverpool win 3-1. I just think change of formation, and again, European night at Anfield. That's as Mike said, again, if it was in Holland, then it'd probably be 3-1 Ajax. But I'm gonna stick with 2-1. I think it's more safe.
Maisie?
I do agree with Connor. I do think that Liverpool do need the change of formation. I think the 4-2-3-1 would suit the team better. I think it suit Darwin Núñez a lot better as well. If you do change the formation, I can see a Liverpool win, but based off if you stick with that 4-3-3, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Ajax if that is the case. So I'll stick with that because there's no guarantees that the formation will change.
Interesting. And Mike, I know you don't like predicting Liverpool matches right now, but what are you going to go for?
I mean, I predicted Napoli to win. I knew we would lose that game. I knew we would. And this game, no confidence again. I'm going to go... If I just see Trent starting, I'm gonna give up. I'm sorry. That guy is abysmal. He's been abysmal this season. Surely that slap in the face in Naples is a wake-up call.
Oh.
If that isn't a wake-up call, I don't know. What do you want to do? Do you want to lose 7-0 then? Is that going to wake up this squad? Need to see some leadership from Van Dijk in the back. He's got to perform. I think it's going to be 2-2, to be honest. I think we're going to score first, but I feel like Ajax have that. They're just such a good team right now.
Yeah, Reece, we got you back.
Yeah, I've switched to the phone. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Much better. Fuck my laptop. It's a stupid wee Acer. Clearly not. It's a beta wee bastard. I'm back. Aye, so where was I? Oh yeah, you asked me about Van Bronckhorst. Yeah, I stand by it. I would have sacked him after the Ajax game, to be honest, because it's not about losing, it's the manner, and he Mike said it earlier on, and it's completely spot on. It was carbon copy. Like, it was the exact same approach to Ajax that it was against Celtic. You can't do that, especially in Europe. Like, especially after you get beat 4-0 to Celtic, then you're losing against a very good Ajax team. I would have sacked him. Like I said it last year to you, I thought his European form is much better for the club, but his league form is absolutely atrocious. They need a manager that can do both. Like, obviously, he won the Scottish Cup and performances were great, but performances lately haven't been translating at all in the field. Personally, I would have given him the boot. I don't think it's good enough going forward. I don't think he's the right guy now, and I do question where he goes next. I've already said it earlier, and I stand by it. Like, Napoli will come to Napoli will come to Ibrox, and Napoli are going to leave all 3 points. Like, I already see it coming. I'm going at least 3-1, at least.
Reece, so is he basically only in the job because of the Europa League success? That's the only reason, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And what's up with Morelos? Because I know he hasn't been playing. Is it just his attitude, or what's going on with Morelos?
His attitude, Kolak's form, and the fact that Morelos did come back and he was overweight as well. He came back overweight. He did the same thing here. He did the same thing here. He's finished, mate. I've always liked Morelos for his goals and all that, but his attitude and his work ethic as of late has been questionable. I think another thing as well, Van Bronckhorst is so reliant on that overrated talent, Ryan Kent. Like, Ryan Kent's absolutely abysmal. Like, I've always thought I hate ball hoggers, but he is the chief of ball hogging FC. He doesn't know how to pass a ball. He's complete woeful. I would rather play Rabbi Matondo on that left wing. Yeah. But it's just not going to happen. Like, I would play front four. I would play Tillman, Lawrence, and I'd play Matondo, but it's just not going to happen. It's a reflection of that, and he's relied on him too much. He's not getting the best of him. I would sack him, to be honest. I'd sell Ryan Kent for 5 pence.
5 pence. What's your prediction for Liverpool Ajax?
You guys were like fortunate. You said it's at Anfield. I don't. The way Ajax came to their approach against Rangers, even though it was in Amsterdam, like, they were phenomenal. Like, the transition was great from back to front. They controlled the possession really well. Just because it's at Anfield doesn't mean you guys are going to win. I don't think you are going to get a point. I think Ajax will beat you with a clean sheet. I'm going 2-0 Ajax personally. I think they'll turn you over. I don't think you are in the best of form. I think you need the international break more than anybody. And And I've said it before, and I got
Yeah.
slaughtered for it, and I got slaughtered for it by Liverpool fans, but it feels great to know I'm right all along. Trent Alexander-Arnold needs to get dropped for you guys. He is more of a detriment than a positive for you guys. If you want to win games, he needs dropped. Yeah, I don't see anything happening personally for you guys. I think he's all going to
He
be
has
quite comfortably.
been absolutely shocking. Yeah, I wouldn't be too surprised. Wouldn't be too surprised at that either. Rangers Napoli. Do you know what? I actually predicted this before. Obviously, it got moved. I actually said at Rangers when I think they need to win their home games to stand any chance of going through. So I've actually gone 2-1 to Rangers in this one. Connor.
I've gone 3-1 Napoli. I think. What's the Georgian guy's name? I keep forgetting his name.
Kivica Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah, he's an absolute baller, and I think he'll run riot on that right-hand side of Rangers. So yeah, 3-1 Napoli.
Maisy.
3-0 to Napoli, even though it's at the Ibrox, just the way they're playing right now, the form they're playing, I think that they've got every chance of picking up 3 points.
Yeah. Race, obviously. I think you've gone. Did you go 3-1 Napoli?
3-1 Napoli minimum.
Oh, interesting.
Like,
Mike.
it depends on that midfield.
You know what? I think this is going to end 1-1, just because it's at Ibrox.
1-1.
There's no Osimhen, and that's a big miss for Napoli. He's a vital part to what Napoli want to do. Raspadori, look, he was abysmal, but he scored on Saturday. Like, he was absolute garbage for 90 minutes.
That's the
But he got the
difference.
goal. That's the difference. He can get you the goal, Raspadori, and they have weapons, Napoli. But I just look at Rangers. I just look at that crowd, and I just think to themselves, okay, they're going to have a response after 2 4-0 losses back to back. If they don't put a performance now, I agree with Reece. I think Giovanni Van Bronckhorst should be sacked for sure. So, hey, my boy Glenn Kamara, you better show up, bro. You better show up, Glenn.
Play him in the pivot. I would he should be playing in that 10 role.
I don't understand, Reece. Why is he playing in the 10 role? When has Glenn Kamara ever been a creative midfielder? He is a box-to-box midfielder.
Exactly. I don't understand it myself. I think the system as well doesn't help the team. I think he really needs to look at his system because it's not paying off at all.
Yeah, so we'll get through some of your comments. Nicola's gone 2-2 for Liverpool Ajax. Elevator Escalifan 2-1 Liverpool. Philip Bidwell says if we played like we did against Napoli, I think Ajax would win 3-1. Hell has gone 2-1 Ajax. Evening Niall, hope you're good. Nicola's gone 2-1 Napoli. Chris has got Liverpool 2, Ajax 1, Rangers 0, Napoli 2. Jack, wow. This is something. Jack has actually predicted an Ajax win. He's going 3-1 Ajax. He must be the most optimistic of Liverpool fans that I know. And he's predicted an Ajax win. Wow. Brian says Rangers will finish on 0 points. He says. Interesting. Hoping the crowd wake Liverpool up. Yeah, definitely. And Jack has gone 4-1 Napoli as well. So we'll move on to the next one. And we have Group B. We have Group B. Bayer Leverkusen against Atletico Madrid and FC Porto against Club Brugge. Oh, Mike, what a late win for Atletico against Porto.
You gotta love Simeone, man. You just gotta love it. I absolutely hate his football, but you know what? At least they show some desire. And this is so crazy, this Griezmann situation where he cannot start. He can only play after the 60th minute, and then what he does with his stupid green hair, he scores the winner. You gotta love it, but you have to love this Atletico side, not because of their football, but just because of the desire and the passion that they show. So, look, against Bayer Leverkusen, I mean, Sione, the manager for Bayer Leverkusen, he needs to be sacked. This side look absolutely terrible.
Did they get beat again?
No, they drew 2-2. They drew 2-2 with Hertha Berlin. And again, the defense is just all over the place. My guy, Lukas Radecki, I don't know what's happened to him. I think he's having too many beers because I know he likes a couple of bevs, but I think he's having too many before the game at the moment because Lukas Radecki and the whole defense is, just all over the place. Yeah. I think Florian Wirtz has been a big miss for this side, really.
Oh, he's massive.
He's the anchor for this team when he's able to drive with the ball and, basically secure because he's that creative guy. I mean, look, Osman is good, but he's not a number 10. He's more of a striker, so At least this is at home. We know what's going to happen here. Atletico are going to be counter-attacking, and then this Bayern Leverkusen team can't defend. So pick your poison here. This is the perfect game for Atletico. If there's not a more perfect game,
it's a big game.
Yep, it is a perfect game for them.
And Juventus are losing, by the way.
I've just seen that Juventus are 1-0 down.
Shout out to Salernitana. Oh my god.
Yeah, Maisy. I mean, no matter what you say about Atletico Madrid, they just keep on getting these late wins. It was a 101st minute winner from Antoine Griezmann. But obviously before that, Mehdi Taremi sent off for diving as well.
Yeah, I actually watched the game, and I remember last week's show I did say to you, Doug, that because both Atletico Madrid and Porto played the same formation, that 4-4-2, they're going to keep cancelling each other out. And I think that red card was the turning point there for Atletico Madrid. Yeah. Just because Atletico Madrid think, oh yeah, the 1-0 down now and 1 man down now, and when you're playing that horrible formation, you can't afford to lose that one player, because once you lose that one player, I think it breaks. And I think that was just the downward spiral. Otherwise, I think it probably would have been in a draw in the end. So, Atletico Madrid, yeah, great win. Porto, I am expecting a lot better, even though they are losing a player due to suspension. I do expect a lot better off this Porto side, and congrats to Atletico Madrid, but they'll probably sit on a 1-goal lead, and then they'll just from the 30th minute and then defend for the rest of the game. I absolutely hate the way they play. I really do. I despise it.
Yeah. Reece, congratulations to Simon Mignolet for keeping a Champions League clean sheet against Bayer Leverkusen.
The absolute shithousery of one of the worst keepers of all time keeping a clean sheet against the worst German team in European football. Brilliant. Is that mate? I need a moment.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to this. I think everybody that knows me knows that I love the shithousery of Diego Simeone. There's just something about him, like his personality-wise, except when it comes to David Beckham, then obviously I'm against him. But in terms of Simeone and his style of management, like how he builds his team up, like how it might be at times dull to watch, but I don't think I've ever watched an Atletico game where it has not been entertaining. Even if it's for carnage, I think they're generally the most entertaining anti-football side of all time. And I think the one thing as well is Diego Simeone, for all the like for example, for all the trophy success like Guardiola's got or Mourinho's got or even past that like Sir Alex Ferguson or like Arsene Wenger, like they've got all that success. Diego Simeone's got an abundance of success. And people question why he's why he's the highest paid manager in football. Yeah. Look at his Atletico Madrid team since 2010, and you'll see why he's the highest paid manager, because this guy delivers consistently in a league that's filled with two teams that win it every flaming year. The only thing I feel sorry for him about is this: all the managers in football, I generally think he's the only manager that does deserve to win the Champions League. I think he does deserve it. Allegri, maybe a couple of years ago, if his style of football hadn't passed it, he doesn't deserve it now. But say like 4 or 5 years ago, Allegri, you put in that bracket, deserves a Champions League. Diego Simeone since 2010 has consistently deserved the Champions League trophy. Consistently done well with Atletico. He's having to rebuild this team year on year, and he's done brilliantly with the current crop of players he's got. And I genuinely think you'll see something different against Leverkusen. I think Leverkusen will try to come out. They'll try to dominate the ball, and it'll just be break after break after break. I'm going to go ahead, and I actually think this is going to be a high-scoring Atletico win. Like, to be honest, we'll come to score predictions very shortly. But if I was a Atletico Madrid fan, I'd be extremely confident in this game, because it's not going to be more than 1 goal, in my opinion. It's going to be an absolute dismantling.
Well, interestingly, you say that. I'm actually going for a 1-1 draw between Bayer Leverkusen and Atletico. I've actually gone for a 1-1 for that one. And for the other one, Porto Club Brugge, I think Porto I think this is the game, if they want to have any chance of topping this group, they need to win. So I'm going to go 3-0 to FC Porto. I think Porto will win this comfortably. Maisy, what are you going for?
1-0 for Atletico Madrid. And for Porto, I've gone for a 2-1 win, just because I think both teams are going to be up for it. But I think Porto, in terms of quality, in terms of desire, because their expectations are going to be up there, especially being the Portuguese champions. I think they'll just have, and the home crowd as well, of course. So, yeah, 2-1 Porto as well.
Reece?
I think the big thing for them is there's no De Ketelaere. I think that's a massive miss for Bruges. Obviously, selling them for just under 30 million to Milan. It's a big miss. I'm going to go 2-0 Porto. I think Evan Nielsen's going to have an absolutely amazing night. I think he's brilliant. I like that Pepe as well. Quality players, but they do miss the two big midfielders, Vieira and Vitinha. Obviously, they sold them in the summer. Big moves that they deserve really well. Yeah, 2-0. I think that's a fair result for Porto in the end.
And Atletico Madrid, what are you going for?
4-0 Atletico.
Jesus.
Like I said, break after break. I genuinely think they're going to batter Leverkusen. Florian Wirtz is the best player in that team, and he's injured, like massive injury. They don't have anybody in that attacking position that's capable. I don't think Diaby's been up to snuff, and it says all that their style plays in great. And Hradecky is an absolute shit goalkeeper.
Awful. Mike, what are you going for?
3-1 Atletico. Like I said, this is the perfect game for them. All they need to do is just counterattack, and with João Felix, Morata, Carrasco, and Molina, it's a perfect game for them. I'm going 3-1 for Atletico, and then Porto with no Taremi because he obviously got the red card for diving. Idiotic play by him. Absolutely stupid by Taremi. So Evan Nielsen's going to have to carry this team, but Club Brugge are a quite decent side, obviously with Noah Lang, Kyle Doreen, and these sort of players, Jutgla, who they got from Barcelona. They have a good squad, and obviously Huijkens, who's I think it's his first ever season as a manager. So I feel like Club Brugge are going to make it difficult. I'm going to go 2-1 Porto. This is not the same Porto from last season, but I do rate Conceição as a manager. I really do. I think he's going to get a big job next summer.
Interesting. Elevating excellent fans say Atletico are the team of shithouses. Yes, certainly are. Leverkusen 0, Atletico Madrid 1, says Shane O'Donnell. Leverkusen 0, Atletico Madrid 1, late scrappy winner by Griezmann. Porto 2, Club Brugge 0. Porto will be comfortable. Shane said 2-0 as well. Chris has gone 1-0. Atletico, typical Atletico scoreline. Porto 1, Club Brugge 1. I like Club Brugge. 2-0 Atleti, says Hella. Amazing when Juventus can't pay off the refs, says Jack. Porto 1, Bruges 0, says Hella. I love Atletico Madrid, shithouse play. I love their managers. Pray they win the Champions League. I have a soft spot for them.
Yeah, I like watching Atletico.
Hit that dang like button. I had to do that. I had to steal Liz's lines. Says Elevating Escalator fan. Thank you very much. Come on, 20 likes. We can do better. Yep. Hit that like button. You say it's interesting. The Reece predicts an Atletico Madrid battering. For the Porto game, 2-0, and the Madrid game, 3-1, and Viktoria Plzen will win the Champions League. Yeah, I'll have whatever you're drinking, Elevator. I'll have whatever you're drinking anyway.
Look,
but we'll move on.
Sharif won the Champions League last year.
Imagine if that happened. But we come on to the Wednesday games, and AC Milan against Dinamo Zagreb. Yeah. I mean, Mike, that partnership of Petkovic and Orsic did the damage against Chelsea.
Yep, and I'm not surprised. Seen these guys play a couple of times. Petkovic, who's not a very mobile striker, has a very good touch on him and just so dominant in the air. And with Orsic, the guy, look, he's just comfortable in Zagreb, enjoying life, and he just wants to play football. I don't think he wants to go anywhere else in Europe, so might as well just stay if you're him. And I thought, if they continue to play their 5-in-the-back formation that they did against Chelsea, I feel like Dinamo are going to frustrate, but I just think that was just terrible Chelsea as well on that day. It was just abysmal, and that just played into the hands of Dinamo. So I think the best for Dinamo is just don't get obliterated in this matchup. But hey, Milan, just slow. I don't think they've played amazing this season so far. They had a scrappy win yesterday against Sampdoria. 10 men, Giroud scoring in a penalty. Wasn't the greatest performance. Leao getting a red card, but this team is just slowly building and forming a great squad. These guys are just so young. This is the youngest squad in Serie A. Nobody talks about that. This is the youngest squad, and they have ballers all over the pitch, but it's just a matter of, I don't know what Reece says.
And the best goalkeeper in the world.
Oh yeah, Mike Maignan is by far the best goal. Actually, no, I would say Courtois is better than him at the moment, but Mike Maignan is definitely top 3 in the world. I absolutely love Maignan is fantastic. So the only question I have with AC Milan this season is just who's going to play right wing, because I don't care at all about Salamakers. I think he's a terrible footballer. He might just run around and that's about it. But Salamakers is just god awful on that right wing. So, but they should be winning this game comfortably, in my opinion. This should be a routine win for Milan.
It'll be Junior Macias.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously, did Rafael Leao get sent off yesterday?
It was unfair.
It was unfair.
Like I can understand the referee doing that. I mean, it was a brilliant. First of all, it was a brilliant cross into the box by David Calabria. Brilliant cross into the box, and Leao's went in for an overhead kick, and obviously the ball's just missed him, and he was already on a booking at the time, but he's hit the guy, like the centre back, shin in the face. Like, I don't think he should have. Like, they've said it's dangerous play. I don't think it is, personally. He's went and tried to score a goal. Like, I've not seen any other player being sent off in that manner or booked for it. I think it's unfair. I think it was just an advantage to stop Milan from winning the league, so obviously to give Napoli the edge. That's just my personal opinion. But the difference is, though, is we saw it last year where they went on that 10-game winning run. They had 9 clean sheets in the last 10 games. Like, this Milan team has more hunger in it than any team in Serie A that I've ever seen. Feels good, obviously, being the home, like the team of representation. But in terms of like the squad, like all over, it's brilliant. I do agree, right wing is a problem. I think they still should have signed a winger. But Macias has been ever reliable, but you still need a bit of additional quality. I think the other thing you could do maybe is maybe put Serginho Dest out there instead of wing back role. Do what PSG did with Dani Alves a few years ago. Play Dest as the false winger instead of like ahead of Calabria. I think that could also work because he's got pace to burn.
Yeah.
But it really does depend. But nah, I think this will be a really tight game though. I think like extremely tight. Zagreb were brilliant against Chelsea. Hostile environment favoured them, but it's at San Siro. You cannot go anything but a Milan win here.
Maisy, I don't think many people have predicted Graham Potter's first game to be this one.
No, definitely not. This is gonna be a tough game for Graham Potter. He's never played a Champions League game. Red Bull Salzburg is quite an underrated side for me. I think they're great. They've got some great players in that team as well. The thing is with Chelsea, I think they're lacking desire. They don't play on that pitch like they want to play on the pitch. They look like, yeah, I've got my wage packet and that's it. And with Graham Potter's age, I'm not saying this will happen, but will some of the players discredit Graham Potter thinking, I'm not having this guy with his age, with his kind of qualifications and his CV speak to me. I'll play how I want to play, and I look at it and think, is that what's going to happen with Graham Potter? He's still got a great side ahead of him. That midfield is great, and I think he does need to drop some big names, though. Mason Mount needs to be dropped. You know, I like Mason Mount, but I think he needs to be dropped. He isn't good enough at this moment in time, and he needs to show that he...
Oh, Mendy has been shocking.
I agree. Mendy's another player. And Aubameyang, he hasn't been... I know he's only played one game, but he hasn't been good enough. I'd rather play Sterling as a false 9 than Aubameyang. Maybe that could work a bit better.
The
thing is, I had no idea why Tuchel started Aubameyang in Croatia. He had zero to any like training sessions with Chelsea. I was so surprised that he started that game, and obviously, you know, look what happened. But I don't think many people expected Tuchel to be sacked after that game. But
he did apparently.
Yeah,
there's rumors going around that Todd Bowley and Potter were actually in discussions over the summer, and Cucurella was actually his request, not Tuchel's. So there's actually rumors that it didn't matter. Like, it didn't matter if it was. This is coming from Matt Law as well, a Chelsea journalist. It did not matter who won that game. in Zagreb. Win, lose or draw, Thomas Tuchel was still getting sacked after that game. The result did not matter at all. They thought it was untenable.
What I don't understand, though, is why sign players what suit Thomas Tuchel then? Why sign Aubameyang? Because that doesn't suit Graham Potter.
No,
Why sign Koulibaly? That doesn't suit Graham Potter.
No, see,
No,
I
agree.
No,
I agree.
The thing is, the board signed all of those players. The only one I think that was Tuchel signing was Aubameyang. That's the only one. Everybody else is the board. They clearly had a plan after Tuchel. This is Todd Bowley's master plan. He wanted to get rid of everything related to Abramovich. Everything. And the last piece was Thomas Tuchel. All he needed to do was just get a manager, and he's got Graham Potter. So let's see how it goes. I wish him all the best, but it's a whole different story managing the Seagulls than managing the Champions League winners or former Champions League winners in Chelsea. That's a whole different.
I know, it's good. It's going to be interesting to see if he can actually, manage a bunch of egos, because that's what the players.
Yeah, because he never had that at Östersund or Swansea or Brighton. What characters or egos are there at those clubs? Nobody.
But we can already expect.
And he hasn't had the
his January window.
expectations, though. He's never had the expectations at the club to say, right, I expect you to be competing for the Premier League. Right, I expect you to be getting into cup finals. He hasn't had the expectations anywhere. Like, Swansea were happy to finish even outside the promotion for the Championship, and they'd be happy finishing 8th place, for instance. You look at Brighton, they're happy to stay even in the Premier League, just knowing that they've been in League One before and they don't want to get back to that situation. So they'd be happy just being a Premier League club. Even if they finish like 16th, they'd be happy because they're in the Premier League still. Whereas with Chelsea, expectations are a lot higher. And a part of me thinks that as much as I think Graham Potter is a good manager, I just think he's not going to be able to do it. I think out of all the big sides in the Premier League, the way he plays suits Chelsea the most. But Chelsea don't give the time in terms of managers. And I don't think that Graham Potter is going to last 2 seasons at Chelsea just for that reason. I don't even think he's going to win a cup at Chelsea. I really
completely agree.
Just based off how Chelsea are playing right now, I don't think they are going to listen to Graham Potter. But I am glad that he haven't approached Sporting. That's what I'm going to say. I'm glad he's not took our manager.
I agree with you. I think there's so much to unfold from this. I think it makes me question Todd Bowley's ambition as Chelsea owner. Is he going for somebody who's never won anything to try and take his project to start something, or is he settling for just top 4 in Champions League money? It makes you wonder exactly what his ambition is. And Graham Potter, decent manager. I mean, I've slagged off Brighton just as much as I've slagged off a few other clubs, but Potter's a decent manager. But I agree, this is a totally different ball game. I don't think he's going to work it. I hope he does a decent job, though. I think it'd be good to at least prove why he's got the job in the first place.
I know.
But it is a massive risk.
I actually feel sorry for him that he's actually taken that Chelsea job. I think any other job he would take, it wouldn't be Chelsea.
He couldn't.
I just feel more sorry for Tuchel.
He's getting 5 years and 60 million. You're gonna deny that sort of money? I'm not.
He's the 4th highest paid manager.
Bring me in a basket the money. Bring it here. I'll take that Chelsea job. I'll deal with the Eagles. But they should be very careful with this game, because if Red Bull Salzburg are going to play in the counterattack, which they do, they got to be careful, because this Okafor guy has started off really well this season. So got to be careful.
Did you see his double nutmeg against Milan? Oh my days!
He sat down Kalulu. Oh my God, he absolutely sat him down.
Yeah, I love Okafor.
So they got to be careful.
So for these 2 games, I am going to go for a Milan win. I'm going to go for. Do Milan keep a clean sheet? That's the thing. No. Yes, I think they do. Yes, I think they do. I'm going to go 2-0 to AC Milan. Chelsea, Salzburg. I can't see Chelsea not winning in Potter's first game. I'm going to go 2-0 Chelsea. I'm going to go 2-0 to both of them. I think both the home teams will win in this round. Maisy?
2-1 for AC Milan. Just can't see him keeping a clean sheet just because Zagreb had played very well against Chelsea, and I think that's enough desire to go further. In terms of Chelsea-Salzburg, Chelsea's losing. 2-0 for Salzburg.
Whoa. Wow.
I predicted Europa League football, remember, for Chelsea.
That's
Remember,
right, you did. That's right, you did. Yeah.
Oh, she's still my scoreline. I'll have to rethink that. Milan, yeah, I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet, but I think we'll still win. I'm going 3-1. I think Orsic will score. But I'm going 3-1. I think Rafa Leao, obviously, he's going to be suspended for the league, so if anything, he'll be up for it. He'll want to get a goal as some form of like payback, a little bit of redemption. So I think Leao will score twice, and I think Giroud will score another penalty. And then Chelsea versus Salzburg, I'm in the same inkling. I'm going 2-0 Salzburg as well. I don't think Chelsea are up to snuff. I think some of those players are very questionable. And you know what's funny? See all the English Chelsea fans that mugged off Timo Werner. He's loving life. What have they got? Nout.
Yeah.
They
Mike?
miss a striker.
Maybe they should have kept Lukaku. Anyways, I'm going 2-0 Milan because it's at home in San Siro, and of course, Leao is going to be suspended for Napoli. Oh my god, why did he have to get suspended for Napoli game? I wanted to see Leao versus Kavicha. That would have been an amazing game to watch, but he suspended that. So I see Leao getting a couple goals, and then I think Chelsea will win the game. I just see a manager bounce. They got to win this. If they lose this game, they haven't even played Milan yet.
Yep.
So Chelsea will be screwed, and they might be hearing,
Giroud's gonna score home and away against Chelsea.
So it's tomorrow.
Telling you now.
So I'm gonna go 2-1 Chelsea. I think they'll have a response in this game at least because they're gonna have Milan next.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Daddy Cole 52, Shane O'Donnell, Elevator and Escalator fan have all gone 2-0 Milan. Yeah, that's right. 3-0 Chelsea, says Elevator. 3-0 Chelsea, says Shane. 2-1 AC Milan, 3-1 Chelsea. If Tuchel was still at Chelsea, I would have gone for Salzburg to get something. Very interesting. 2-1 Milan, says Hella, and she's gone Chelsea 1, Salzburg 2. Very interesting. Chelsea 2-1. Matson, hello, Matt. Hope you're good. They should never have signed Tuchel. Nope, absolutely not. May spot on about Chelsea. Good evening to the Mr. Arsenal podcast. Thank you very much for tuning in. Do appreciate you tuning in. Read a story that the new owners are going to sack him regardless. DHTV, if anybody doesn't know who that is, it is Daniel Hughes of recently the Mighty Reds television. So hello, Mr. Daniel. Hope you're good. Matt's gone 2-1 to Chelsea and 2-0 to AC Milan. It's an owner going crazy with his money, not having a clue what he really wants at the time in the football style. Potter, good manager, but not a Chelsea manager. He won't get time for a project. Aubameyang only cares about his bank statements. Yeah. Thank you, Ravi. Subscribe to Michael Talks Football, Devils United, Devils Rising, and the Dugout Football channel. All big channels. Thank you very, very much. Chelsea signed an out of magic Harry Potter. Jesus Christ. If Potter fails, I'll be proven right again. With these people, I mean, people being respectful, saying Potter, etc., are good enough for elite clubs. Always overhyped by prawn sandwich eating media. This shows the difference in terms of ownership under Roman. He sacked a manager and always got a world-class manager aside from Grant and Frank. Todd's first manager is Potter. That is very, very true.
But then what world-class manager could he have gotten?
There isn't any available. Zidane wouldn't go there.
Exactly.
Zidane wants Juve.
And you're going to tell me Pochettino's world-class. Okay, then you don't know football.
And Dan's actually said their model for 20 years is win big or get out.
Yeah.
Well, welcome Chelsea to the new era. Welcome to American owners, where it's acceptable to be top 4, and that's it.
Exactly.
Or pain.
It is a pain. It is a pain. We shall continue. This game, Shakhtar were the big surprises in the first round of games, beating Leipzig by 4-1. Celtic did well for a half and then completely capitulated in front of our own eyes, losing 3-0 at home to Real Madrid. Shakhtar Celtic is the early game, Maisy. How do you see that one going?
I think it's going to be an interesting one because for me, Shakhtar is quite an underrated side. They've got some great players in there. Whereas with Celtic, I absolutely loved that Real Madrid battered them, I must be honest. It was pretty funny to watch. For me, though, I think Celtic would be happy just being... I think they probably will qualify, but I think they'd be happy being in the Europa League. Just because that team last season got knocked into every single round of every single European competition last season. So I think if they're in knockout Europa League and they got to a final, they'd be happy about that regardless. But for me, just knowing that, I think Celtic, I've got some good team players. Jota for me is an outstanding player in Celtic. I think he's an underrated one. He isn't the Jota what people talk about. I think just knowing that the game has been postponed and they lost against Real Madrid, they're going to want to get a result here against Shakhtar. So I think Celtic will probably end up winning this game.
Wow, interesting. Very, very interesting. Mike, I don't think many people would have predicted 4-1 Shakhtar against Leipzig.
I'm honestly stunned. I was honestly stunned by that result. I know RB Leipzig are absolute garbage, or they were now, until they met Dortmund, and we'll get to Dortmund. They were just so deadly on the counter-attack, Shakhtar. That was the main difference in that game. Like, Mudryk and Shved and Lassina Traore, who came off the bench, they were excellent. Absolutely excellent. That was just the difference. They were so deadly on the counter-attack. A point to make as well, people, that this game will be played in Warsaw, because obviously they can't play in Ukraine. So this game will be played in Poland. So, I mean, do they really have a home field advantage? No. It's going to kind of maybe feel like a neutral venue in a way. So I was super impressed by Celtic in that first half. I mean, they should have been in the lead 2-0 with the chances they created. They had a great chance in like the first 30 seconds. How did they not score? I can't remember the guy's name. I think one of the Japanese players. I can't remember his name. Or was it
Kyoto Furuhashi?
Was it Furuhashi with that chance? Yeah. So, I mean, I was impressed by Celtic. I know the second half, Real Madrid just showed their quality, and that just shows you the difference between Celtic and Real Madrid. The quality that they have, Real Madrid, when they can just turn it on like that and just control a game, that just shows you the difference. I think those Celtic can get a response in this matchup. I really do, because I've been impressed by them all season. I've been really impressed.
I mean, the other game, Reece, Leipzig have just lost 4-1 to Shakhtar. The last place you want to be going to try and bounce back is the Bernabeu.
Yeah, quite an interesting one, that one. But then again, though, with Real Madrid, no Karim Benzema, so there is a little bit of favour there. I'm not expecting Leipzig to beat Real Madrid, but you wouldn't put it past them considering the results they've had in recent years against Man City, PSG, the game against Man United. Like, they've had some really good European games recent years. They could beat Real Madrid. I don't think Leipzig will, though. Personally, I don't think we will beat them. But
no.
I think it will be a better performance. I think the one difference though against Shakhtar was just the sheer focus of Shakhtar's players. I thought Mudryk was fantastic. Bondarenko, he's amazing. It's just such a good team, and I've always liked Shakhtar. There's just something about them to watch. Like, whenever I've seen them play, I just watched the odd game, and they're a decent team.
Was it Gulacsi that made that horrible mistake?
He's done.
Allowed the first goal.
Oh, he's terrible.
Yeah, he's done. Like, he's lucky he's just had a back three protecting his bald ass for the past couple of years. Like, he needs to be replaced. Like, he needs replaced. Yeah, I'm being honest with him. Like, I'm just being honest. Like, I think he generally needs replaced. I think they need to go and I would have played with Vogel ahead of him, but obviously they don't bother using him anyway. He's no longer there. Like, I generally look at it and I think I would maybe rather play Josef Martinez. Like, I'm just looking at the team. It's just not good enough at all from him as a goalkeeper. I think Marco Rose, if he wants to do something with this team going forward, he needs to get a new goalkeeper. But Gulacsi's stuck with because he's on big wages and he's the captain. Why did they take off Willie Orban? I will never understand. But I think you'll see something. I think you'll see a better performance, but they'll still lose by the odd goal. A very odd goal.
Jax just said, going to be Juve being 2-0 down, bang on pen, apparently.
There's a VAR challenge for Salernitana.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. If Juventus lose that game, Jesus Christ, Allegri's done.
If they lose, I'll laugh my ass off.
These two games, I'm going to shock you all with my Shakhtar Celtic score. I think Shakhtar are going to absolutely rip them apart. I'm going 4-0 Shakhtar.
What the heck?
Yep.
Do you guys not respect Celtic at all, or what's going on here?
I
know Reece doesn't because he's Rangers, but that's different. Yeah, exactly.
I just have a feeling with the way that they played against Leipzig, I just think Celtic are not the best defensively. And I honestly have a feeling that
It's been
Shakhtar are going
given.
to score a few past them. And I'm also going to say Real Madrid will win this 3-0 against Leipzig. I think Real Madrid will be too comfortable against RB Leipzig, unfortunately. Reece, Maisy, what are you going for?
I'm going to go for a surprise one. I think Celtic will narrowly win 2-1. Sorry, Reece, but I've gone for Real Madrid to win 5-0. Valverde, please score.
How are you going to win 5-0 with no Benzema?
Because have you seen Valverde? What a beautiful man he is. Like,
yeah, central midfielder's going to score all those goals.
That was some goal he scored against Mallorca.
It was a fantastic goal. It really was. And
he is a brilliant player. I've rated him for a long time.
Again, he will literally rip Leipzig apart. He will.
Yeah.
I think there's one thing though.
Yes.
I'm going
2-0.
4-0 Shakhtar.
Salernitana.
Yeah, 2-0. I'm going 4-0 Shakhtar, by proxy. And I'm going 2-1 Real Madrid. I think Nkunku's going to tear. I think Nkunku's going to have an absolute, even though he'll be on the losing side, I think he's going to have a field day against that Real Madrid defense. He is generally right now for me the best. Obviously with Benzema out injured, he is the best French player going. It's just his versatility, his pace, his creativity, he's the way he gets in behind the lines. If he's played on the right or if he's played the number 10 role, he is just abundantly good, and it's great that PSG didn't want to keep him. I think that's the absolute best thing they've ever done in their entire history. And I think Werner will enjoy it as well. European nights, if he gets decent space against the defense, I think he can cause a problem. But I think Real Madrid, with the experience in the team, there's so much experience in their team that you wouldn't write them off. So yeah, I'm 2-1 Real Madrid.
Mike?
2-1 Celtic. I think they'll have a response, and not playing over the weekend, that will give them a little bit of rest for them. And I think Shakhtar played over the weekend, if I'm not mistaken. I think they won. And then for Real Madrid, RB Leipzig, I just see a comfortable Real win, 3-1. Whether it's Rodrigo scoring, Eden Hazard, he's going to probably start at the false 9 again. Because, do they want to play Mariano Diaz? Okay, good luck with that, Carlo, if you want to play Mariano Diaz. And then Vinicius, he's going to tear apart RB Leipzig. Okay, look, they performed well against Dortmund, but we'll get to Dortmund, how bad they are.
Oh my God!
We'll see how let's see how they perform against Real Madrid. Let's just see. But I'm going to go 3-1 Real Madrid.
Let me just say that Dortmund are coming. Dortmund are coming because we are coming up to Group G.
They always are premature, Dortmund, with title challenges. They start strong, lose it anyway.
Matt's gone 2-1 Shakhtar and 3-0 Real Madrid. Mr. Arsenal Podcast gone 3-1 Shakhtar. Hella's gone 2-0 Shakhtar. Elevate and Escalade fans gone 2-1 Celtic. He's also got 1-0 RB Leipzig. Wow.
Oh, good man. Good man. I think Rose could get something out of this with this team. I think he could. But I'm just not comfortable.
3-0 Shakhtar and 3-1 Real Madrid, says Chris Welsh. 2-1 Shakhtar, says Daddy Cole 52. I don't want reminded on my Leipzig Shakhtar prediction, says Chris. Yeah, I know what it was. Real Madrid 3, Leipzig 0. Carlo Ancelotti's a dawn for a reason. Carlo was world class. I wasn't saying Porto wouldn't do well, but I don't think he'll be given the time to stamp his style on Chelsea Ravi. 3-1 Real Madrid, says Hella. Going to be Juve 2-0 down, of course. Do I watch football? Yeah, of course I watch football. Just obviously my opinion. Shane says I like it to get the sack. If he doesn't get sacked, then what do I know anyway? 4-0 Real Madrid. Leipzig with a new manager, but Real should still win, not Shakhtar. No, definitely not. But
I've just looked as well, actually. You're right, Shakhtar did play. They played yesterday against Chorno Moritz Odessa and they won 2-1. But I'm just looking as well. Their head-to-head record, not a single draw. It's 2 wins to Shakhtar, 2 wins to Celtic. Not a single draw between them in 4 meetings. So you could see a draw for the first time.
Well, I'll give Mike this because Manchester City, Dortmund. Holland is playing against his former club. How bad are Dortmund right now, though? Oh my days! Defensively, they're shocking.
It's not even just defensively. Attacking-wise, they have no clue what they're doing. I don't know. There is no plan at Dortmund. There hasn't been a plan for the last couple of seasons. They don't know what they want to do. I feel bad for Nico Schlotterbeck. This guy's a brilliant defender, but he's next to a McDonald's eating center back in Nicolas Sule. This guy's abysmal. Nicolas Sule should not even be a footballer anymore. He just isn't motivated, and you can clearly see. Then you have Thomas Munir. It's gonna be ugly. This is gonna get bad for Dortmund. Seriously, they can't even score. That's the thing. They can't even score. This team. They don't have any creation.
Yeah,
they have a lot of injured players. I mean, obviously you can blame injuries for Dortmund, but they still don't have an identity with Terzic. I don't know what he's trying to do. I just simply don't. So, Man City, they're on absolute form. This is going to get ugly. I could see Haaland scoring a hat-trick. I'll just say right here, it's going to be 5-0 Man City. No, I'm serious. Yeah. Have you watched Dortmund this season, Doug? Okay, cool. They came back against Freiburg. Okay, cool. They beat what did they beat on the first?
They didn't have a single. They didn't have a single shot on target against Leipzig. Let me just point that out. Not a single shot.
They did lose 3-2 to Werder Bremen after being 2-0 up as well.
Yeah, they were collapsing in the 87th minute. They only barely scraped past abysmal Hertha Berlin 1-0. This team is not good enough. I don't know what Terzic is doing. I really don't. I think this could be ugly. And you're giving Haaland rest, Man City rest. It's going to be ugly. It's going to get ugly on Wednesday.
So you've said 5-0, Mike.
Yep, 5-0.
I can't wait to slaughter Dortmund myself. Put it that way.
Yeah, Maisy. I think it has to be said we are in a bit of slaughtering Dortmund at the moment. But how bad are Dortmund for you?
Dortmund, they're so leaky in defence. They're absolutely awful. Like losing Erling Haaland was probably the worst thing they probably could have done. Putting that release clause in, just because they haven't. I agree with Michael. They have no identity about them whatsoever. I look at that Dortmund side and I look and think, what are you doing? The only players I feel sorry for is Jude Bellingham and Axel Witsel, because I really like Axel. I've liked him for years, and
Axel Witsel is at Atletico.
Oh yeah, he's gone to move, Danny. Fuck,
he went to
Atletico. I feel more sorry for the fact that Adeyemi joined them and Marco Rose.
So he's gone. But what I didn't understand was why City wanted a Dortmund defender. But for that reason, I have a feeling he's going to start against Dortmund. Just because
he was actually pretty good against Sevilla.
He was. He actually was pretty decent. I don't know too much about him, but he was pretty decent. And Man City fan at work who I made friends with at my new job, he goes, Maisy, I'm not confident with Seville. So why are you not confident with Seville? They're absolutely crap. The crap. You'll literally come to me tomorrow and go, this was a comfortable win. Come into next day. You were right, Maisy. It was a comfortable win. And I think it's going to be another comfortable win. I'd actually gone one more than Michael and go 6-0 from
6-0?
Yeah, I'll go one more on that. 6-0.
Wow. Yeah, Reece. I mean, we have slotted Dortmund to the max, but you watched Leipzig against Dortmund.
I did.
I mean, what a good start for the manager of Marco Rose, as well. But Dortmund,
who got sacked by Dortmund last season, by the way, just to let people know that.
And he was born in the city of Leipzig.
Yeah. It's not looking good, is it?
First of all, they've ruined Adeyemi, which makes me sick to my stomach. Marco Rose had a field day against this team anyway, but in terms of I feel sorry for Marco Reus that he's the captain of this sinking ship, because he's absolutely a phenomenal player and he doesn't deserve to be in that shithole. He should have left in fight. Yeah, true. But Rory Jennings ruined Doctor Who. His opinions on football mean nothing. The guy said Werner was shit. Well, he clearly doesn't watch football either. In terms of Dortmund, the team is so inconsistent. It's so ill balanced. Their manager isn't even that good. They fluked a DFB Pokal win during the lockdown season. It was a fluke. I've never seen a more cheap result in my entire life.
Yeah.
And they've said 5-0. They've said 6-0. I'm going 8-0. Haaland to get a double hat trick, for fuck's sake. He's going to tear them a new one. One arsehole is not enough for Dortmund. They're going to have 4 or 5 at the end of this. Haaland will score a hat trick in both games. He will score a hat trick in both games. I genuinely think Dortmund are going to get ripped apart. And then hopefully they sack their manager.
I think I've actually been kind of giving Dortmund the goal. Do you know that? Do you know that? I actually
Kindness is a virtue, and I've got no time for Dortmund.
Because I know Man City kept a clean sheet in Seville, and to be fair, Seville were terrible. Very, very poor. And to be honest, Seville have been very, very poor. I'm actually surprised that Lopetegui hasn't gone yet. I'm very, very surprised. The other game, just very, very quickly.
I keep him.
Copenhagen weren't great against Dortmund. Sevilla, do we all expect Sevilla to win that one?
I think it'll be a draw. I don't think either team are particularly great. I've seen the Sevilla lineup. I mean, I don't know how they can get away with Gomez, Rakitic, and Alex Telles with Isco as a front four against Man City. I don't care if you're playing a false nine against City. It was a bad call. They should have played El Nasir and gone for the long ball, in my opinion. I think they got it massively, massively wrong. And Copenhagen are just—they're not going to do anything. Like they're just there. It's like reputation. It's like representation rights.
Do you know something? Do you know something? I've gone 2-0 Sevilla. I've gone 2-0 Sevilla for Man City Dortmund. I've gone 4-1 to Manchester City. I think they will hammer Dortmund, but I just think it'll be 4-1. I mean, Maisy's gone 6-0 for Manchester City. What have you gone for the other game?
I've gone for a 0-0 for Copenhagen versus Seville. If I do watch it, I'll probably have a snooze or something.
Snooze fest then. I mean, Reece has gone 8-0 to Manchester City, but what are you going for this one?
1-1 draw, mate. 1-1. And then Pochettino will be at Sevilla very soon. Am I the only one then predicting a Sevilla win then, Mike?
Oh, well, okay, I said 5-0 for Man City. I'm going 2-1 FC Copenhagen. I think they're going to... That stadium, Parken Stadium, is absolutely amazing atmosphere. See, if I wish I had money so I could travel to these Champions League games, because I'm sorry to all the Premier League fans, your stadiums are overrated. They are. Go to these stadiums like Parken Stadium with FC Copenhagen, Marseille. This is like these clubs wait for these Champions League nights, and this team are going to wait. They've been waiting for 5-6 years. Going to be amazing. Look, they were abysmal against Dortmund. I expect a much better performance. I've watched Sevilla. I mean, how Lopetegui's still in the job, I have no clue. They don't have it. They don't defensively. They are all over the place. They almost gave up a 3-1 lead over Espanyol, or were they up 3-0? No, they were up 3-1. This Sevilla team are not looking good. Defensively, they're not the soundest. Attacking wise, it's either Lamela and that's it. Because En-Nesyri is...
They need to switch to back three, in my opinion. I don't think they're good enough as a back four.
I think so too. They have a really good right back nowadays. I can't remember his name. He came through the Sevilla Academy. So, look, I think
the Argentine boy.
I think FC Copenhagen can get a result, even though they've been terrible in the Danish league so far.
Is the Copenhagen Stadium the one the Denmark play at?
Yeah. Where the incident for Ericsson happened. Yeah,
it's a
wild ground, like
stadium. It is
seen
a
on
very,
TV.
very good stadium.
It's a fantastic stadium.
Right, very, very quickly, because we do need to go into Group H. Copenhagen 1, Sevilla 2, Man City 1, Dortmund 1. Elevator and escalator fan, sorry, but that ain't happening. There is no way Dortmund will manage to get a draw.
I will laugh my ass off if Dortmund get a result. I will laugh my ass off, because that should not be happening.
4-0 says Shane. Sevilla 1-0 says Daddy Cole. Copenhagen 0, Sevilla 1. Champions League bridesmaid 4, Bundesliga bridesmaid 0. That's funny. Mads is laughing at your McDonald's eating centre back quote.
Because he is. Nicolas Sule is not a footballer. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Thogden predicted Borussia Dortmund to win the Bundesliga.
Who's Thogden?
Christ.
Who on earth is Thogden?
The guy who's just got 1 million subscribers.
Well, I'm not one of them.
Yeah. Roy Jennings is about as irrelevant as Gabby Agbonlahor. Yeah, that is very, very true. But yeah, we will do it. Anyway, we will move on to Group H. And obviously, Juventus are at home against Benfica, but they are losing 2-0 to Salernitana right now. Mike, can Benfica go to Juventus and win?
Of course they can. They have a perfect record so far this season. Roger Schmidt has done an amazing job with this team. They haven't been the most impressive in the last 2 games I've watched them. They haven't been as good as what they were in the first 5 games, but I'm liking this Benfica team. David Neres, Gonzalo Ramos, I'm telling you right now, Liverpool
Julian
fans,
Draxler.
we must sign Enzo Fernandez. I've watched this guy at River Plate. Please, he is going to
Thanks,
go
Ravi.
somewhere next summer for 60 million. I absolutely love Enzo Fernandez. I think he's an absolute baller. And they have this young center back. I can't remember his name. I think it's Silva.
Morato.
No, it's not. It's a Morato. He's only 18 years old, this center back. Oh, mate.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
gonna-
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's going to go for 30, 40 million next summer because this guy's an unbelievable center back at 18 years old. So, look, Juventus, they have a lot of injuries. I understand that. It's a Allegri ball. What? Do you want me to get excited for that? Dinosaur football. I'll fall asleep watching it. The thing is for Benfica, I think what they're going to do is they're going to go there to just play for a draw. And that's not the mentality that they should go with. They should go there into Turin and get the victory. Because they can. Because this Juventus team, they're lacking in confidence. They don't have any idea how they want to attack. Okay, what they got for themselves is defensively they are sometimes sound. They did perform well against PSG in the second half, but I honestly think Benfica can get a result here. I'm still hesitant on what the result could be.
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting one. I mean, Maisy, you'll have obviously seen like Benfica and obviously like Sporting play Benfica. How impressed have you been with Benfica this season?
Disgustingly surprised, let's just say. I don't like Benfica, as you probably know. I despise Benfica, but I have said for the past so many years, the thing is with Benfica is that they made a formation to suit one player, and that was Darwin Núñez. They got great money from Darwin Núñez, put it into the team, and they've changed the formation completely. Perfect record. It's just disgusting.
They're looking good, Maisy. I'm sorry. I think they're going to win the Portuguese league. Unfortunately for you.
I don't think so. I think Porto
Unbeaten.
I think Porto will still win it, but it's just going to be a matter of a couple of points. I think Benfica will start dropping the points when they go to knockouts and they'll have the bigger teams to play against. That's where they will start dropping points, I think, in my opinion. If they get Liverpool or if they get Man City, they want to play the strongest side, and that's where I think they'll start dropping points, Benfica. So that's why I think Porto will end up still winning the league. But Benfica, yeah, they've got a great side. Ramos is terrific. Really like the guy. Got a good defence, minus Otamendi, because I don't really like Otamendi. But yeah, I think Benfica's going to comfortably win it. Juventus are crap, and they are more than welcome for keeping Paul Pogba. In actually injury with his actual injury this time round, not his fake injury. Best thing Manchester United could have ever done is get rid of that egomatic person. I absolutely despise Paul Pogba, so he's welcome to win, and Allegri is just a shocking manager.
Just say how you feel, Maisy. To someone who absolutely despises Juventus, I'll give you this one, Reece. How bad are Juventus?
I think Juventus are absolutely wonderful, mate.
Tell us how you really feel.
Genuinely to God, Juventus are finished. Juventus are finished. And all the fans that blame Ronaldo for all this is the funniest thing. They're the deluded fans. It was coming before that. It's the old guard. They didn't bother to replace them. They didn't bring in enough quality to do it. And it just says all you need was just one spark in it. Unfortunately, it was Antonio Conte and his Inter Milan team that done it. I wish it was the red and black, but it's all right. Inter's run is the best town club in the last 1 year.
Mike, Antonio Silva, is that the Benfica centre-back?
Yeah, I think that's the guy's name. 18 years old. My God, what a player.
Yeah, he's a baller. He's a baller.
Absolute baller. 18 years old.
I still think Morato's got a higher ceiling than him personally, but Silva's a good player. I think Morato's got a higher ceiling. I think Benfica are a phenomenal side. I like watching them in the Portuguese team. Maze knows that for fun and games. In terms of Juventus, I look at their squad and they are missing one thing that they should never have done because they're absolutely idiotic, is they lost their main attacking threat. They lost Paulo Dybala. I don't care what anyone says about him. I don't care what anyone says about his injury record. I don't care what anyone says about his lack of work ethic or whatever. That guy scores goals. He gets assists. He bled for that team. He ran circles through defences last year just to keep them relevant, to get them in the top four, just to even get them into like the DFB Pokal final as well. And he gets so much slander. He's now went to Roma, scored some brilliant goals already. He could end up winning the Europa League, by the way. I think Roma have got a good chance of winning the Europa League. But in terms of Juventus, they've got nothing else. They're relying too much on Vlahovic. He can't do everything on his own. Their midfield is absolutely shambolic. The manager's done. Like he's just completely finished. Like I used to like Allegri. I used to have a bit of respect for him, but he's just it's the old adage is correct. A manager should never go back. Zinedine Zidane was fortunate enough to make it work the second time, but no manager should go back after having so much success. He has tarnished his Juve legacy by going back, and I genuinely feel like they're going to get slaughtered. And Benfica have been brilliant under Roger Smith. The counter pressing suits them really well. Putting Rafa as a number 10 is phenomenal. David Neres, Julian Draxler, perfect combination of an attacking winger and a playmaker. You've got Enzo Fernandez, who's been mentioned. He's brilliant in that role. You've got Florentino, who's settled. Gilberto right back. You've got Alexander Ba, who can come in. You've got Tavares. You've got Grimaldo, who's an amazing left back. You've got Odysseus in goal, who's a bit hit and miss. Gonçalo Ramos is an amazing striker. If anything, I'm going to say there's now 3-0 Benfica.
Wow. Maisy, is it a case of how many PSG could get against Maccabi Haifa?
We all know that PSG, they end up getting one of them surprise shocks. So you look at Club Brugge. It wouldn't be surprising if they get a surprise one, like have to end up picking like a point up in this game. Just because I think PSG will come far too comfortable into the game because they'll expect, right, we're going to slaughter them here 9-0, and then they'll just get too comfortable. And then there'll be just some great counter-attacking football what gets played. Won't be surprised if it turns into a 1-1 draw.
Wow. That would be something. That would be something. Yeah, Mike, I agree with what Maisy says. I think complacency is what could defeat PSG here.
Look, going into a hostile environment, Maccabi Haifa, they're no joke. They really aren't. I've watched them in the qualifying rounds. They're actually a quite good team. They actually really are. Pierrot, the Haitian strikers, had done fantastic. It's been a brilliant signing for them, but they're against PSG. I expect PSG to win this game quite comfortably. Now, I know people will say like maybe 7-6. I'm going to go 3. No, I don't think Maccabi Haifa will score in this game. They're going to score against Juventus. I'm going to go 3-0 PSG.
3-0 PSG. Reece?
I agree with Mike. As good as I think PSG are, and I think they are the favourites to win the Champions League personally from a back-to-front perspective in terms of experience, goals, a manager that is actually doing well with these egos, although to be fair, he's got Mbappe, who I think he needs to drop personally. I think PSG are a better team with Sarabia instead of Mbappe. I don't think they're going to have an abundance of goals, but I think they'll get the result. I think hostile environment is key. I think Maccabi Haifa, I think they might get a goal, but they're not going to get slaughtered. They'll get slaughtered in Paris. I think in Paris it could be double digits. But here, in this circumstance, I think it's going to be very minimal. I'm going to go 3-1 PSG as well. I don't see anything too high, but they've got some quality players like Fabian Ruiz and Vitinha in there, who I absolutely adore the two of them. I think they're quality players.
I think I went 3-0 to PSG. I don't think I went too much.
Yeah, I think the wing backs are key as well. Like Nuno Mendes on the left and Achraf Hakimi. He's the best right wing back in world football. Nobody touches him. Like he is absolutely deadly. Ramos is finally coming into his own.
Juventus have just scored, I believe. Bremer, I think, is just put into the back of the net. So yeah, Juventus 1, Salernitana 2. Maisy,
I'm very shocked.
Can you see Benfica going to Italy and winning?
Yeah, I do. To be honest, 2-0 Benfica.
I've gone 2-1 Benfica. I have gone 2-1 Benfica. Mike, can you see Benfica beating Juventus?
I mean, I can see it, but I feel like it's gonna be 1-1. I think it's gonna be 1-1 this game. Yeah, but Juve have to win this game because if they don't, they're gonna finish third in the group. And I predicted that they would finish third in the group before the Champions League even started.
So did I.
Yeah.
So did I. I did say that they would. I did say that they would. Well, guys, it's been fantastic panel tonight, and it's been a fantastic show. I know we have slightly overran, but it has been a fantastic show. And I have to thank my panel. Obviously, Connor Niblett from the Cop Council. Maisie, thank you very much for coming on yet again. Tell the people where they can find you.
Thanks for having me on Doug again, second time in a row. I feel like I'm quite lucky coming on twice, showing my face about. My YouTube channel is Devils United. You can catch me through there. And my Twitter is at 2_ZemUFC Maze as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you would be more than welcome to come on every week if you would like to. So the offer is there, as long as you can make it, of course, on the Sunday as well. So not a problem. Mike, thank you very much for coming on. I know you've got your big one with Dominic Rich tomorrow. That must be something you're looking forward to.
Of course, always good to talk with Dom. I wonder what his scoreline for Man City Dortmund's going to be. Maybe he'll be like, oh, it's going to be a tough game. Dortmund, they're doing well. I don't think he's watched Dortmund this season. I really don't. I don't think Dom's watched Dortmund this season. So I'll give him an education and tell him why Man City, they're going to absolutely demolish them. But yeah, as always, Doug, thanks for having me on. I can't make it next week Sunday, unfortunately. Oh no, it's not next week.
It's international break next week.
International break. Yeah, I have to watch Finland play. Oh dear Lord.
Oh.
Well, at least I can enjoy a trip to Rome, so that's at least nice.
Yes, yeah, safe travels on.
If we win, I'm gonna go crazy. Oh my God.
I can imagine. And Reece, thank you very much for coming on again. Tell the people where they can find you. Oh no.
Say my name, sorry. I just cut me a second there. Sorry, my apologies.
Yep, I'm just saying, tell the people where they can find you.
Thanks for having me on, man. My Wi-Fi just cut there briefly. Yeah, you can find me right there, Devils Rising on YouTube and Twitter, and you can find me every Saturday at 3 or 4 o'clock, depending on when I can be bothered, on the weekly Armchair Sports Talk as well. Other than that, it's been a privilege. Thanks for having me on, man. And just remember, I said last year that Benfica would beat Barcelona home and away. So I'm going to say this year that Benfica will draw in Paris against PSG, and they'll beat Juve home and away.
There we go indeed. Eldon Transfers has said, just very, very quickly, Juve is one of the worst run clubs. They replaced Kulu with a 34-year-old Di Maria, sold Romero and Di Maria, etc. Yeah, and I think that is a good point to put it on. Basically end the show tonight. But thank you everyone for watching. It has been a very, very good one. And if I didn't get to your comments in the chat, then obviously I do apologise. Leave a comment in the chat, in the comment section, and obviously one of us will get back to you, as I'm very, very sure. Yes, as I'm likely to remind people, next week is an international break, so there will not be a Champions League show the next week. But the weekend after, we will be back to preview match day number 3. So I'm looking forward.
And Germany will beat England.
Hopefully. But thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you very, very soon. Enjoy the Champions League. Should be some very fascinating matches. Good night.